How's it going, guys? Guys, hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back today with a first impressions video, guys. Today I actually want to talk about Back 4 Blood. So over the weekend, myself, Dante, Edge from Edge Plays, and Fish from Crack On Gaming actually got hands-on with the Back 4 Blood early access beta. I just want to say a quick shout out to Turtle Rock Studios and Warner Brothers for offering a code to be able to pick up and play this game. They were super generous. They actually gave me a code and then 3 codes that I could give to my friends to be able to play this. Because obviously this is a cooperative based game. It has a fully cooperative campaign which you can play with 3 other friends, and it does also have a versus mode as well. For those who don't know, Back 4 Blood is actually developed by Turtle Rock Studios. That's the team that basically worked on the first Left 4 Dead game, which for me is actually one of the best zombie games ever to be made. I absolutely loved Left 4 Dead. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead with my friends back in the day, so super hyped to pick up and play Back 4 Blood, and we actually got hands-on today. So I actually want to kind of just give my first impressions, what I thought of the beta, what I thought of what we got to play in the game, and just general my thoughts and impressions on it. And now this game is coming out on the 12th of October, so a couple of months until it's due for release, and it will have an open beta next weekend for you to pick up. I think it's going to be available from the 13th of August for you all to jump in and play. In the background is some just random gameplay of footage that I captured. So between myself, Edge, Fish and Dante, we pretty much played through the first act of the main campaign. Now you actually get to play as one of multiple characters. I think there are actually like 8 playable characters, but we actually got to play as 5. There were 5 available characters that you could actually play as in the beta, and really enjoyed it. So obviously in the original Left 4 Dead, mostly the characters were all pretty much the same, except they just had different personalities, right? So you picked the characters that you liked. Well, one of the new improvements in Back 4 Blood, which I really enjoyed, was that each of these characters actually do now feel very distinct. You have certain characters that are more geared towards a kind of a melee build, characters with better stamina, characters that are geared towards, you know, precision snipers and pistols and headshots and gain increased damage and accuracy the more accurate your shots are. You have support characters that are all about kind of healing the party. So each of the characters do feel actually very distinct, which is really cool. We kind of got to grips with that as we played some of the campaign. Now we've played about, I'd say about 4 to 5 hours of the game so far. Like I say, we played through the entirety of Act 1, which is actually broken down into different chapters. So there are 8 chapters per act. It took us about 3 to 4 hours, 3.5 hours to beat Act 1. And if it's anything like Left 4 Dead, I think there were 5 or 6 acts in that game. So you're looking, if we're to kind of predict, maybe you're looking at somewhere between 15 to 20 hours for the main campaign, which is a good length for this title. And of course there is going to be a versus multiplayer mode as well, which is 8 players. So it's 4v4. One team will play as kind of the cleaners or the human team, and the other team get to play as the infected, which is really awesome. So what did I think of it? I absolutely loved it. Like, I really enjoyed my time with the early access beta. It very much feels like Left 4 Dead. It is most definitely a spiritual successor to that game. If you've played Left 4 Dead before, when you jump into Back 4 Blood, you're going to be right at home. It's going to be a very comfortable transition. So there were definitely elements of it that absolutely felt like that, you know, from the safe rooms to the way that chapters are set out, some of the different objectives that you've got to do in the team coordination, to the different infected that you get. I think they're called the Wretched in this. I don't think they're actually called the Infected. But yeah, it was really cool. Basically, it's like Left 4 Dead, but it's just with brand new characters, brand new wretched or infected creatures, improved gunplay. There were definitely some really good quality of life improvements and gunplay, which I'll get to shortly. But really enjoyed it. I actually played it on the PlayStation 5, as did Edge. We found that the game played smoothly. I didn't have any frame rate drops or any issues. The loading times were super quick, super swish. I would have said it felt like, I don't know obviously because I wasn't reviewing it, but probably it played at 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5. Now I know Dante and Fish both played on the PS4, and they did have a couple of minor game issues, so there was a little bit of clipping. I think at one point Fish's gun actually just disappeared, so he couldn't actually see the weapon that he was holding, but it was really, you know, minor bugs, minor glitches, so hopefully they'll fix those for the main game when it comes out in October. In terms of the servers though, the servers were really smooth. We had no server drops, no issues with that or any major lag or anything along that, although the jumping could have been improved a little bit. It was a little bit delayed, was the jumping, but everything else seemed to work fine. But you know what, it's refreshing to actually be playing an online multiplayer game and not have any server issues, because obviously if we look at, you know, a lot of similar games, they've had huge issues when it comes to the beta, even when it comes to the game releasing on day one, like Outriders for example, or Anthem. When that became available, there were so many problems with servers crashing and not being able to matchmake. Well, yeah, we didn't have any problems like that in the beta. The matchmaking was really smooth, it was really quick and easy, and it felt intuitive to form a team. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So obviously a lot of, you know, the Back 4 Blood series. Let's talk a little bit about the different infected or the different wretched. I really enjoyed them. We got to see a couple of new ones, which was kind of cool. So, again, similar to Left 4 Dead in that they kind of have different attack patterns and things like that. So you've got, you know, like the Wretch, I think it's called. It basically, it's a little bit like the Boomer, you know, so and the Spitter, it kind of throws up on you, causing toxic damage. I think it makes you more of a target for the infected and the Horde as well. You also have different things like the kind of the, I think it was called the Stinger, which is a bit like the Spitter. You had something called the Hawker, I think it was, and it kind of, it looks, it's a little spider-ish, but it kind of spits on you, and it puts this webbing on you which freezes you in place, and your allies have to kind of melee you out of that. And then there were a lot bigger enemies as well. We got to see one boss which was called the Ogre, which was just huge. It was massive. So it seems like the Left 4 Dead team are looking at going bigger, more epic in scale in terms of the types of infected that they can do. And there were some big hulking ones. You know, we had things like the Exploder, which charges at you and self-destructs itself, causing huge damage. Then I think there was one called the Crusher that would kind of grab at you and sort of crush you in place and hold you up. So it was very cool. The different infected was really good. And then obviously the Horde was massive and you know, definitely felt dangerous, you know, and intimidating. So you did have to coordinate with your teammates, because of course it's very easy to get overrun very easily if you're not coordinating your defense or your team effort or whatever, especially if there's objectives that you've got to play for. So I really enjoyed the infected and what we saw. I liked the characters that you could play as well. They all have character. There was still that party banter between them, you know, throwing barbs at each other. There's still sort of dialogue that happens as you're playing through the mission. So that makes these characters, you know, come to life and feel alive and believable. So I'm really interested in, you know, to play the campaign. I kind of see what the story is like. You know, Turtle Beach Studios have said that they are looking to do a more expansive campaign than they did in the original Left 4 Dead. So I'm really excited to see that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the improvements in terms of the game mechanics. Let's start off by talking about the weapons. The weapons in Back 4 Blood are fabulous. They're really good. They're very, very distinct. Of course, you've got SMGs, assault rifles, sniper rifles, pistols, revolvers. You've got melee weapons like bats and machetes, and different things. Each of the weapons do feel very, very distinct, but they're better. They're improved over Left 4 Dead, because you can actually mod these weapons and kind of level them up as you play through the game. You'll gain access to mods. You can also gain access to a store when you're in the safe room, which allows you to purchase different mods, from stocks and barrels to clips and different things, and sights and things like that. So you can actually level up and mod these weapons. It makes them handle and play and feel very, very different, which is really cool. You'll find certain weapons that you really love to play. My personal favorites was the Desert Eagle, which was just a sweet pistol. It was more like a sniper rifle. It was a one shot kill, especially if you got a really good headshot. Felt incredible to use. There were some really good sniper rifles as well, and then I think towards the back end of it I picked up an SMG called a Vector, which is an epic SMG. Oh my god, this thing would just shred through infected really, really easily. So the weapons feel very distinct. They feel fun. And everybody, you know, that was playing it, from, you know, Edge, Fish, you know, we were all really, really enjoying the weapons and all trying different things, from shotguns to different weapons. So we had a good time with it, and they felt really satisfying to use, and they felt weighty, like they had a good kick. So certainly the weapons have been massively improved in Back 4 Blood compared to, you know, Left 4 Dead, where they felt a bit lighter. So I really, really, really enjoyed that. There is also a new card system as well, which was really sweet. So in between different chapters, and as you get to safe rooms, and even in the middle of maps, you can actually activate particular cards. Now these can affect your team. For example, they can give you increased health or stamina or ammo or accuracy. They can also be specific to particular characters as well, and improving certain stats and certain things. And you can choose to, you know, activate these. You go into a game with, I think, a customized deck, you know, that you pick for yourself from base, but then you gain access to some new cards as you go into the shop, which you can spend coin or spend money to buy, to purchase and activate. So it is very much about kind of coordinating with your teammates, you know, in terms of which roles which teammate has, you know, who are going to be your healers, who's going to have your toolkits to be able to open particular doors or chests to give you more access to other things in the map. So I really enjoyed it. There are also corruption cards as well, which are actually activated by an AI in the game, and those actually give you particular conditions really in each mission. So they might, for example, introduce mist, so it's very, very difficult to see, you know, different infected to shoot them and do these headshots or see the horde coming. There'll be other things like mini objectives to kind of not set off any car alarms or scare any, you know, flocks of crows or birds to attract the horde. There'll be things like, you know, surviving an entire mission without any of your squad getting downed and things like that. So there are these kind of mini objectives that these cards activate as well, and you get more points, more coin as you basically achieve them. And that means that every mission that you take or you face, it's going to lead to that replay value, because it's going to mean that, you know, every chapter or act may well have a different condition that you haven't come across before, and that's really cool. I really like the card system. I thought the card system was really, really funky, and I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't yet had a chance to get hands-on with the multiplayer element of the game, which is 4v4, so humans versus infected, but I might actually jump back on next weekend, hopefully, if I'm a little bit better after my treatment at the hospital, to actually play some of the multiplayer and check that out. So yeah, Back 4 Blood, I am in. Like, I played enough of the beta, about 4 or 5 hours, and from what I've played, I am sold on this game. I've been waiting a long time for a really, really good multiplayer multiplayer zombie game that I can play with my friends. The last great one I played was Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead 2. So I'm super excited to play it, and it just feels like Left 4 Dead but improved in so many ways. So that has me incredibly excited. For those that are interested, absolutely I recommend checking out the open beta next weekend, which I think kicks off on Friday. It's well worth playing, and I think the beta is actually available across all the platforms, so you can play it on PlayStation 4 or PS5, Xbox One or Xbox Series X, PC, I think it's available on Steam, and also Epic Games Store as well. So if this is one that you're on the fence about, then absolutely check it out, and get hands on with it. And that's what we wanted to do, and having played it, we're going to be picking this up on the 12th of October when it comes out, and we will likely be streaming this game as well, and we'll probably do a full review of the game as well when it does come out, once we've played the whole campaign through and obviously everything that the game has to offer. But Back 4 Blood was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a really good multiplayer game to play with your friends, you like zombie games, you like games where you have to kind of be tactical and work together and coordinate as a team, then this is absolutely the game for you. Really, really enjoyed it. So there are my general first impressions on Back 4 Blood. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is this a game that you're interested in, that you want to pick up and play? If you have any questions or any things you're interested in that I haven't covered in this first impressions video, then please post those questions in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions that you might have if there's anything I didn't mention that you wanted to know about. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great week, of course. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.